In this video, I'm going to show you how to do temperature conversions from Fahrenheit to Celsius, Celsius to Fahrenheit, and also Celsius to Kelvin. So you'll know how to convert any kind of temperature to any other kind. So I've written here the three formulas that you'll need. Actually, I'm going to write another one here. I'm going to write TC equals TK minus 273. So if you don't have these in your notes right now, pause the video and make sure you get these into your notes, because if you do this, you won't have to ever look it up again. So the first one here, to find the Fahrenheit temperature, you take the Celsius temperature multiplied by 1.8, hit the equal sign on your calculator, and then add 32. To go from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you take the Fahrenheit temperature, subtract 32, hit equals, then divide by 1.8, and you'll have your Celsius temperature. That's formula number 2. To find the Kelvin temperature, you really want to start with your Celsius temperature. So if you're given a Fahrenheit temperature and asked to convert to Kelvin, go ahead and convert it to Celsius first. Then add 273 and you get your Kelvin temperature. And then the reverse of that is quite simple. If you have your Kelvin temperature, subtract 273 and you'll get your Celsius temperature. Now your book uses subscripts a little bit differently than this. They use, they use TF for Fahrenheit, little t for Celsius, and big T for Kelvin. Now to me that is kind of crazy. So I just use T for everything. Any temperature has a T, and then if it's Celsius, I put a subscript there. If it's Fahrenheit, I put an F there, and if it's Kelvin, I put it there. You can also tell what scale a temperature is, because, for example, if it was 52 degrees Celsius, I would have to write degrees Celsius, or 35 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Or 2 Kelvin. So technically, you could just use T, and then just make sure you have the correct unit on the end. So either way is fine, but make sure that you're indicating somehow what scale you're using. So the sample on page 424, okay, says the highest atmospheric temperature ever recorded on Earth was 57.8 degrees Celsius. So our Celsius temperature is 57.8 degrees. So we want to find that temperature in Fahrenheit, and we want to find it in Kelvin. Okay, so let's do part A. TF. Now I'm going to go back to my formula right here. TF is number 1 here, 1.8 TC plus 32.0. So 1.8 times TC plus 32.0. So in your calculator, okay, I'm gonna substitute this TC in here, 57.8 plus 32. So in your calculator, you're gonna want to do 1.8 times 57.8 plus 32. Your calculator knows that the multiplication has to come first. But if you want to do 1.8 times 57.8 equals, and then plus 32, it's okay. You'll get the same answer, okay? And that answer is 136 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's just call this part B. The Kelvin temperature is always a little bit easier. It's the Celsius temperature plus 273. So I get 57.8 plus 273 for a total of 331. Now, if you wanted to call this 330.8, that's totally fine. We don't really care how you want to round that. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you comfortable, do it. Make sure you have the unit on here. Remember, there are no degrees Kelvin. It's just 331 Kelvin, 136 Fahrenheit. And that's it for the sample. So you should be able to do the rest of the math practice on page 424.